Welcome to Module 38, Chin Series. A chin series is a common action within a Princeton offense that uses a slot-to-slot pass, a back screen, a basket cut, and a flare screen to create scoring opportunities. Before jumping into things, let's take a look at some of the basic concepts within the chin series. Let's start with a basic example. The ball is with the highlighted player. A common way to initiate the chin series is to execute a dribble handoff, along with an exchange on the weak side, which we can see taking place. From here, the chin series calls for a slot-to-slot pass, followed by a pass out to the wing, and while this takes place, the post player sets a back screen for a basket cut here. We can also see that the spacing of the black team, with all players above the free throw line, is key to leaving space around the rim open for the cut. As we continue and the swing pass is made, we can see a great screen is set, completely obstructing the cutter's defender, and the black team can execute the first read of the chin series, finding the basket cutter for an easy layup. Of course, it won't always be that easy. Let's see what happens when the cutter is not open. As the highlighted ball handler initiates the offense with a dribble handoff and the slot-to-slot pass is made, we can see that the defense has adjusted this time, switching this defender on to the cutter. As this first cutter, if you're not open to receive it, you should quickly clear out towards the ball side corner to keep the lane open. We'll also quickly mention that the current ball handler should have his eyes up because sometimes that first cut will confuse the defense and open up a long skip pass to the player in the weak side corner. With the cutter now covered, the next action is for the screener here to set a flare screen for this slot player. If the slot player's defender cheats over the screen, then the slot player can curl around and make a basket cut. Otherwise, the player will pop off of the flare screen to receive the pass. When we continue, watch the slot player who will set up the screen by taking a couple of steps into his defender, which we can see brings him closer to the screener to make the screen more effective. Because of this, he's able to come off the flare screen with tons of space to receive it, and the first read from here is to take the shot if space allows for it, though in this case the player can't get it to drop. As we just mentioned, the defense will eventually adjust to this as well, so let's look at the next read when the shot isn't on. Here we see the offense initiated simply with the slot-to-slot pass, and the player begins to make his basket cut off of the back screen. Watch as this player receives the pass off of the flare. As he again sets up the screen and receives it, he certainly could take a shot, but he also recognizes open space in the lane and understands that driving could also be an effective way to create opportunities. By aggressively driving towards the basket, we see that he's forced the wing defender to collapse in, leaving the player in the corner wide open. We can also see the screener here has done a good job of recognizing that the ball handler's defender chose to go underneath the screen, giving him space to pop, something we will look at more in just a bit. So, if you don't take the shot coming off of the flare, the next read is to look for the drive, and in this case, a kick out to the corner for a knockdown three. Here we will see a similar play that features a common read off of the drive. As the offense is initiated, we see the player again receives it off the flare. The player again could take the shot, but will decide to drive. As he does so, keep your eye on the player in the corner, who recognizes that being patient and holding his position will force his defender to make a decision. As the ball handler continues to drive, we see the player moving a few hard steps this way to get his defender to jump, opening up space for the player to make a backdoor cut. This action is very common in a chin series as the drive takes place. Let's quickly revisit the decision of the screener. As the chin series is initiated, we can see at this moment the cutter is pretty open, but the ball handler isn't able to get the pass off, and he also recognizes that this player is wide open. As he makes the pass, we see the player catch it and drive, and we can see the player's defender here has been caught trying to fight over the screen, which cues the screener to roll. As the wing player here, you should recognize this roll as it's taking place, understanding that it will open up space on the perimeter, allowing you to lift to find that space, which we see the player doing, and sinking the three. Let's finish up with a focus on how to reset the chin series and make it continuous. As the exchange takes place, we see the slot-to-slot pass followed by the basket cut. At this moment, we can see that the player receiving the flare screen is not able to separate from his defender. This is a cue to curl around the screen and try to look for a pass. If the pass is not there, although in this case a loft pass could be attempted, the screener will pop out to receive the pass, as we see. Following this, the player who just made the cut will clear out to the left corner. From here, it could either be the wing player coming up to initiate the dribble handoff to get things reset, or, as we will see, the player who just made the cut could receive the handoff, and we now see the white team has reset their chin spacing. So again, there are many ways to reset the chin and make it continuous, but this is a common one as it quickly gets two players back in the slot. Before moving on to the lesson, please review what we have learned so far.